Hi, I'm April. Everyone here at GitHub is a developer first, and we want the best possible tools and workflows so that we can have the biggest possible impact on each of our projects. We use the same tools that you can use right now. But rather than just tell you all about how we do this, I want to show you what a day looks like for me and what I do to make the most of it. So let's start at the beginning. The beginning of the day when I open my laptop for the first time. The first thing I do is check out my GitHub projects board. This shows me what my team is doing right now, and I can go grab the tasks that I'm going to be working on today. Projects is a great tool for planning out our work, tracking our progress, making assignments, and all of our issues and pull requests are integrated right here. And the whole toolkit is adaptable, so it can be tailored to whatever type of project we're doing without adding any extra time. Right now, I can see what my team is working on using the table view that you see here. And by selecting the drop-down arrow and the board layout, I can see work as it progresses. And finally, the roadmap view helps me visualize progress against critical ship dates. So now, the first thing I'll work on today is fixing this high priority task right here. I open up this issue from the development section. I can create a branch and a code space, and I'm dropped right into my desktop IDE to get working quickly. GitHub Codespaces is incredible for working on any project type or code base. It's a secure, isolated, cloud-based dev environment that can be configured for anything we're working on in any language. The dev container JSON file is a config as code from my developer setup. Now, anyone on my team can make a single configuration change and increase everyone's productivity. By default, the extensions that work best with this project, like GitHub Copilot and code scanning, are preloaded. And I always get my material icon theme and prettier extensions because that's what I'm used to using. Now, for implementing this feature. First, we'll start the server and load the homepage so that we can see what we're changing here. We want to experiment with adding some visual interest right next to this Teams header. So I'll open up this Ruby partial, user_teams.html. Now, the thing is, Ruby isn't my primary coding language. So the first thing I'm going to do is open Copilot Chat, now in beta preview, and type explain to understand what this code is doing. That looks like a detailed explanation, but I want to summarize it in fewer words. Excellent. That's much more concise and exactly the level of information I need. Now, I say that we're generating HTML, but we're also using Ruby and JavaScript. There are multiple ways to do this, and I'm not sure which one to pick. Well, let's see what Copilot comes up with. In the chat window, I'll tell Copilot what I want to accomplish. Assign an emoji based on teams.count next to the Teams label. And it should be an integer within a range of 0 to 100. We'll set 0 to 22, this really cute plant emoji, and set the rest of the ranges up to 100 automatically. I'll copy this change, save my file, and see how it works. And voila! There's the plant emoji, just as I expected. We use Copilot every day to improve our understanding of the code, reduce the amount of boilerplate code that needs to be written, and cut out all the manual tasks that pop up and ruin our flow. So our devs can focus all their energy and creativity on the toughest engineering problems. And it's also worth pointing out there are a lot of times when I'm in the flow and I just want to work directly in the code. And this is another place that GitHub Copilot has me covered. I simply type teams.count is greater than 100. I want to add a star emoji. And you can see here how Copilot still has that rich code completion functionality, and it maintains the same high-quality understanding of context that grasps what it is that I'm trying to accomplish. Sweet, I'm ready to push my changes. I drop down to the command line and git commit, add emojis to homepage team count, and git push. But look at this. It looks like secret scanning is blocking me from pushing due to a secret. I accidentally added my personal access token to this file. Well, we all make mistakes. At GitHub, we build tools to limit the impact of those mistakes and ensure that developers and organizations have security, best practices, and controls built in. I'll fix that up, rebase, and on to the next task. So I've done everything that you've seen so far in the first few minutes of my day. But a little while later, I'm ready to submit this pull request for review once GitHub Actions runs through our security checks on the new code. Now in that last sequence, a couple of really cool things were at work. The first is GitHub Actions. Actions is, and maybe I'm a little biased, the crown jewel of CI/CD systems. Actions is an easy way to automate your workflows, and there are thousands of them that you can use right now by going in the GitHub Marketplace. Or you can use them back in your repo by clicking on the Actions tab and selecting the new Workflow button. That lets you search for a specific workflow or have access to suggested workflows and deployments. Now this is very cool and a very easy way to add a powerful layer of automation to all kinds of tasks right in your repository. And best of all, Actions can be run in parallel or sequentially to execute seamlessly in the background. Okay, so now it's a bit later in the day, so let's check in on my PR. While the actions have been running to check in the code I've written, I'm also waiting for the PR review. And because our team is distributed all over the world, we're always working together asynchronously. And so I just saw this note on that PR from Amanda. I can see here that Amanda made a really good suggestion. I can simply accept her changes. And then, as soon as it's approved, I'll add it to the merge queue. Writing software is a team sport. So I'm going to take a minute to review this PR from my teammate. This looks like a potential problem from code scanning. Now that's part of GitHub Advanced Security, telling me a SQL injection may have been introduced through some of my changes made by the team. Now, preventing simple coding mistakes from making it to production is why we use Advanced Security to check all our PRs. We rely on GitHub Advanced Security to bring a variety of features that protect us against everything from highly sophisticated cyber attacks to leaked credentials. For example, Dependabot is constantly scanning for security vulnerabilities in our open source dependencies like this one. And if it finds something, it will automatically open a pull request with a suggested fix, making it super easy to apply the patch. And the code scanning tool is constantly reviewing our code for security problems before we publish anything, like I showed you earlier. We've built security natively into our platform so that you can spend less time worrying about that and more time working on the things you love. We get so much use out of these tools that it helps to think of GitHub as a total engineering system, rather than just a code platform or advanced tool set. To build and operate at the hyperscale our customers need, we use all the same features currently available to you, and you can dev, test, and ship in the very same way. Every feature and functionality at GitHub has been very carefully designed to have a big impact on the developer experience throughout our org. We're excited to keep doing the work that's required to make GitHub a place where you do your best work. To learn more about how GitHub builds and how you can build with GitHub, check out this link right now.